Now, our utilities bill is probably a concern not only for you, Jay, as a corporate citizen, but also for many of us as private citizens in this nation, with electricity bills continuing to spiral. All of us are very nervous and concerned, and as much we are here at UJ. And so we're constantly engaging Johannesburg City Power so that we have a tight grip on, in particular, our energy consumption issues. The university has set for itself annually targets by which it should reduce its electricity needs and therefore its carbon footprint. We have to do it not only from a cost point of view, but also from a planet carbon footprint point of view. And so we committed to that work. The university, therefore, apart, and I'll come back to this question, but apart from the energy matter, the university also does considerable waste recycling, and we set annual targets for waste recycling: glass, paper, metal, and so on and so forth. And we do reach our targets annually. So again, this year we've set targets on waste management and waste recycling. And again, our appeal is for all of us to make a contribution in that respect. The adage is reuse first before we recycle, right? And so if we can give consideration, all of us, to reusing something first rather than recycling it. One of the concerns I have, for example, here in my office and here in our meetings, several meetings that we run daily and weekly and monthly, is the number of plastic, for example, that we use, plastic water bottles. And my message to my office here has been, I want to see that change. Either we're going to go to glass bottles, or we're going to use tap water and use them in glass water jugs. But we're going to see change in the next month or two, certainly from my point of view. So returning to the issue of energy, the university, of course, has made considerable investment of time and effort into developing its own photovoltaic technology. And we hope, we're confident that by the end of this year, the manufacturing plant that we had been planning for the last 2 or 3 years will eventually get off the ground in Paarl. It's about a 1.3 billion rands investment. I should point out the university's share capital is only about 8–9%, and that the other significant players at this stage participating in it include the National Empowerment Fund, as well as the Central Energy Fund, and we hope to bring on board the Development Bank of Southern Africa in the next month or two. And so we are confident that that work's going to come on stream sometime end of next year. That plant should be operational, and we hope to export that plant when it's achieved its objective. We'll be able to export it almost as a complete product, so to speak. What's the expression again? There's a nice manufacturing expression, toolkit, so you can almost sell it as a toolkit into other international markets. There's great interest in a number of markets for this purpose. But that, of course, mustn't cause us to wait to introduce our own additional ventures in the institution, such as heat pumps that we have introduced in the 2 new residences on Soweto campus and here on APK, instead of the use of electricity and therefore a much enlarged carbon footprint. Initiatives like that are the ones that we are pursuing at this stage. We're looking at another such venture on another campus, on another residence that we're utilizing in Soweto. And so the use of photovoltaics outside of or until we have reached our own project or implemented our own project fully, the use of alternatives are being pursued quite aggressively by the institution.